The clock tower's secret. In the bustling town of Tickford, there stood a tall and ancient clock tower at the center of the town square. The tower had been there for centuries, its massive clock ticking away the hours and chiming every day at noon. Everyone in town loved the clock, but no one knew the secret hidden deep within its old stone walls, except for Amelia and Jasper. Amelia was a curious girl with a knack for solving puzzles. She had a wild imagination and loved nothing more than uncovering mysteries. Jasper, her best friend, was cautious but loyal. He was always ready to follow Amelia's lead, even when it seemed like her ideas were a little too adventurous. One sunny afternoon, as they sat under the shade of the clock tower, Amelia gazed up at the ancient structure. "Have you ever wondered what's inside the clock tower, Jasper?" she asked, her eyes twinkling with excitement. Jasper glanced up nervously. "I've heard there's nothing in there but dusty old gears and rusty metal." Amelia grinned. "What if there's more? What if there's something magical? Something no one's ever discovered before?" Jasper raised an eyebrow. "Magical? It's just a clock, Amelia." "Maybe to most people," she replied. "But I've noticed something strange. Every night, right before midnight, the clock hands start spinning backwards for just a few seconds. I think it's hiding something." Jasper's eyes widened. "Are you saying we should go inside the clock tower? We're not allowed up there." Amelia stood up, her mind made up. "Come on, Jasper. Let's find out what the clock tower is hiding." That night, under the cover of darkness, Amelia and Jasper sneaked out of their homes and made their way to the clock tower. Armed with nothing but a flashlight and a sense of adventure, they slipped through the narrow alley behind the tower and found a small, rusty door that was barely visible in the shadows. Amelia tried the handle, and to her surprise, it creaked open. "I told you this place was hiding something," she whispered excitedly. Jasper followed her inside, his heart pounding. The inside of the tower was dark and filled with the sound of ticking gears. A narrow spiral staircase wound its way upward, disappearing into the darkness above. The two friends began their climb, the old steps creaking beneath their feet. When they reached the top, they found themselves in a dusty room filled with gears, levers, and giant metal cogs. But something strange caught Amelia's eye. In the center of the room, behind the largest gear, was a small door, one that was not part of the clock's mechanism. "What's that?" Jasper asked, peeking around the gear. "I don't know," Amelia said, moving closer. "But I think we're about to find out." She gently pushed the door open, and inside was something they had never expected, a small, glowing orb floating in midair. The orb pulsed with light, casting strange shadows on the walls. Surrounding it were markings and symbols that neither of them recognized. Amelia gasped. "This is it. This is the secret." Jasper stared at the orb, completely baffled. "What is it?" As if in response to his question, the orb flickered, and a voice, soft and gentle, filled the room. "You have discovered the heart of time." Amelia and Jasper exchanged glances, both of them stunned. "The heart of time controls the flow of hours, days, and years," the voice continued. "It is kept safe within the clock tower, hidden from the world. But now that you have found it, you must decide, will you guard the heart of time, or will you let it fade away?" Amelia stepped forward. "What happens if the heart of time fades away? Time will no longer be steady. Days will turn into seconds, years will feel like hours, and the world will lose its sense of time." Jasper's eyes widened in fear. "We can't let that happen." Amelia nodded. "We'll protect it." "But why us?" The voice grew softer. "Because only those with pure hearts and a desire for adventure can find the heart of time. You two are chosen." Amelia and Jasper looked at each other, the weight of their responsibility sinking in. "We'll do it," Amelia said confidently. "We'll protect the heart of time." Suddenly, the orb glowed brighter, and the entire room seemed to come alive. The gears began to turn faster, the ticking of the clock grew louder, and the walls shimmered with light. The voice spoke one last time. "Thank you, young guardians. The heart of time is safe in your hands. You will know when you are needed again." With that, the orb slowly dimmed and returned to its soft glow. Amelia and Jasper, still in awe of what had just happened, carefully closed the door to the room and made their way back down the spiral staircase. As they stepped outside into the cool night air, the clock struck midnight, and for a brief moment, they saw the hands of the clock spin backwards, just as Amelia had noticed. "We did it," Jasper said quietly, his heart still racing. "We found the secret." Amelia smiled. "And now, we're the guardians of time." I'd say that's a pretty big adventure. From that day on, Amelia and Jasper kept their secret safe. They would visit the clock tower often, watching the heart of time and making sure everything was as it should be. They didn't tell anyone about their discovery, but they knew that as long as they were the guardians, time itself was in good hands. And so, the clock tower in Tickford continued to tick away, keeping the town in rhythm with the world, thanks to two brave friends who had unlocked its ancient secret.